Hello there folks, so back again with another video. We're going to be doing a little bit of an unboxing in this one, looking at some stuff from Copplestone Castings, but also just wanted to kind of highlight where I am at the moment with the rest of my Middle-earth adventures. So I have my Casa Doom warband, or at least my Moria warband I suppose actually. It's going to be led by Balin, so it's going to be adventuring down into the depths of the mountain to fight against all sorts of different things. I have done the first couple of test models for my warriors, and I think they've turned out quite nicely. So going to be moving on to doing a few more of those and the Casa Guard. I'm obviously going to be working on an alternative warband to go up against them as well. So I have some goblins that need a little bit of love and care to bring them up to scratch. This was some of my older paint schemes, but I've got a few more tips and tricks to work on for that. Got Gambling waiting in the wings. I've got an Orc Banner Bearer and Grishnak here as well, who are going to be used as part of a warband next weekend. So they need to get painted. Probably those two are going to be the focus for the next little while. But the main thing that I want to talk about in this video was actually the stuff that we got from Copplestone Castings. So I have been thinking about adding to my 2mm collection. You will have seen a video, hopefully on the channel, talking about 10mm. Did I say 2mm? Some 10mm Fellowship models, which you can go and watch the video for. I'll make sure there's a link somewhere, or there'll be something in the end card, I guess. That's what people do on YouTube. But to go up against them, I thought I'd actually get my hands on some new models from Copplestone. And so I thought it'd be a good idea to break these out and have a talk about them on camera. So my idea is that I'm going to do a Balin's Tomb, but done in 10mm, and that obviously means that I need some models. So we have the likes of there's a orc on the back of a warg or a wolf there, looking rather nice. We have an orc banner bearer, I'm going to say, on the back of a wolf, on the back of a warg, which is kind of cool. We have what I like to think of as like Uruk or orc warlords or warband leaders, looking very nice indeed. Hopefully you can see them in the light and the detail and this kind of stuff. Then we have a couple of pretty awesome special models. So we have Saruman here, looking rather cool, or at least a white wizard, I guess, if you're going to be talking about it beyond the realms of copyright. We have a wraith on the back of a horse. So I'm going to be pursuing people across the Pelennor, or perhaps down to the Buckleberry Ferry. Pretty nice model there. We then have this orc captain on the back of a warg. A separate warg on their own. Looking pretty nice. And these are very well detailed. I really like these models from Copplestone. Looking pretty cool. We then have drums in the deep. So I'm going to be making use of these when it comes to Balin's Tomb scenario. So we've got those. And then the last of them all, which is the biggest model, is the Nazgul on the back of a fell beast. Looking rather nice indeed. And certainly something there for when it comes to the Battle of Pelennor, if I ever end up doing that in 10mm, which I may end up doing considering how nice all these models are. So that's the 10mm characters. They were more or less kind of like I just want to kind of buy some extra stuff, so I bought those. Now, if you're going to be doing Balin's Tomb, then we need trolls, and that's where these guys come in. So this is their War Troll pack. These are more or less the same. I only kind of need one of these, I suppose, for the scenario, but I thought I'd get a big pack of them, because they're kind of nice anyway. So you've got these big war trolls with hammers and shields at the ready. So I'm going to choose my favourite from this one. A little bit of flash, obviously, on them, but that can all come off nice and easily. And then it's just a case of taking the knife around them to get rid of all the extra bits and pieces here and there. But once they are all cleaned up, they'll be ready to go. Very so there'll definitely be a troll in the mix of all of those, kicking ass and taking names. Let's actually put that one away, just lay it to the side there. But then of course we need all the other different creatures. I think I should probably try and clean up a little bit as I'm doing this. So I'm going to move those guys over there for now. And then I'm going to need some 10mm orcs, which I'm going to use obviously as goblins as well. So let's just take a couple of these from here. So obviously, because these have been designed with the idea of playing much larger games with them, they come on big strips, which is the case with a lot of 10mm models, especially if you've been looking at the likes of War Master and all that kind of stuff, or Fantastic Battles, which is most recently. So you have a set of Orc Warriors there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do them in sets of 3s and 2s. So I'm going to snip the strip, probably about there or there, either way, basically, and make them into smaller little warbands, and maybe put like two to a base. So, for example, you had like a little warband of them, maybe like that or something. I think it'd be kind of cool. Here's a little command element of them as well, which is kind of cool. Very nice. And orcs and goblins are fairly interchangeable at this scale. You're probably not going to tell much of a difference, really. It only really makes a difference, I guess, if you're going to be adding Uruks into the mix. But I've got like a good section here. So 1, 2, 3, 6 strips. Now, if that's turned over onto bases, then obviously that doubles. So that's maybe up to like 12 of those or something, which I think is quite nice. Just a word on basing as well. I'm going to probably try and base my heroes. Well, my heroes were all based on 1p pieces, so that's what I'm going to be doing for those. So if I give you an idea of that, how that normally would look. So, for example, a rider on a 1p piece looks pretty good. I think you'd agree. Same with a let's see what Saruman looks like. So Saruman on a 1p piece there. Kind of works out as a base, which I think is quite nice. But then if I was going to be doing a larger regiment of them, maybe put them on 2mm so that it's a bit easier for my heroes to get in contact with them, but it also looks better, I think, when they're on the tabletop. So that's going to be them on 2p pieces probably. But I'll do a little bit of fitting here and there to try and make sure that it all works up together. But again, like the Copplestone Castings metals are so nice, and they come together really well when it comes to building little models and stuff. I'm also going to need some bowmen as well, so I got the Orc Archers pack, which is this one here. Crack that one open as well. Oh no, they've all fallen off. Oh no, come back. No. There we go. So these are actually going to be a little easier because they are 2 to a strip. But again, that means that either we'll have them set like this. So there'll be 2 per coin. Let's see if I can get them to stand up a little bit. Can't really get them to stand up, but 2 to a coin. Probably could have got some blue tack out or something, but I think that looks kind of nice. Or like doing them offset, maybe like that. So that it kind of gives it a bit more dynamism. But that's going to be on my archers. Thankfully they're, as I say, not on big strips of 6 or something. So they'll be skirmishing around on bases quite nice and easily, which I think is kind of cool. And I'll add them to Balin's tomb. And again, there's loads of them in here. They're all more or less the same. I don't think there's a command option in here. No, there's no command option, but as I say, gives you a cool idea of the kind of miniatures that they have for you to use. Why would I make a Balin's tomb in 10mm? I hear you say. Mainly because I want to try and make like a design, like a fun display piece that can go on the wall, essentially. Not the wall, the bookcase. I kind of want to take the characters that I've got and bring them all together to create a really fun little diorama. So I'm going to be trying to use XPS foam. XPS foam? Yeah, XPS foam, and sort of build that up into a really fun little set that can go up against my books. Because I've done stuff in the past where I've made models that have been tied to, for example, Joe Abercrombie's The First Law and stuff, and I've done like a really fun little diorama set for them and built them up and put them alongside the books on the bookshelf, and I kind of want to do the same thing for my my Lord of the Rings models, so they have a nice little diorama. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of maths, trying to work out all the angles and the cutting and all that kind of good stuff. But hopefully this gives you, let's see if we can refocus it. Hopefully this gives you a good idea of kind of the stuff that you get from Copplestone in that 10mm, and maybe you'll consider going to have a look at them and seeing what they do, because I think they do some really nice stuff. Just for the sake of it, I'm just going to get down a couple of the models that I had from before. Let's do them. There we go. Let's get Aragorn down as well. So there we go. You can obviously go back and watch the other video so you can get a look at the painting for it, but there's Aragorn looking rather cool on his 1p piece. Aragorn in 10mm. Nice and easy and quick to paint as well, these are. And there's Merry and Pippin looking very cool in their different attire. And the idea is that I'm going to have them all sort of set up in a Balin's tomb style affair. So you'll have the hobbits, and then you'll have Balin's tomb in the middle, and then you have the orcs charging through and all that kind of stuff. And it means that I can play Balin's tomb using the Middle Earth strategy battle game rules, but kind of shrink everything down a little bit and all that kind of good stuff, I think, and play around with it, or maybe just come up with my own little rules and that kind of stuff for playing it out if I ever wanted to turn it into a game. It'll also mean that once I do the 10mm version of it, I'll have got an idea of the dimensions and kind of why I need to do it in 28mm potentially as well, which I think would be really fun. But yeah, that's my process at the moment. It is thinking about my hobby for the next little while when it comes to terrain and painting and all that kind of stuff. And I know I have a lot of plastic to work through and a lot of metal to work through for the 28mm version of the Lord of the Rings, the Middle Earth strategy board game. But I thought it was just really fun to get my hands on some evil guys to use for a fun little diorama, and just a different project that steps away from 28mm and should be fun and interesting to paint. As I say, got them on this kind of basing that kind of was meant to represent sort of going up through the mountains and stuff. I'm not sure if I'll do that for them. I may just base them in astrogranite and do like a bit of dry brushing on it to make it look like stone. But then that means that these guys will stand out a little bit as well on the tabletop, which is always nice to see. So yeah, hopefully I'll be going to go off and do a little bit of DIY scouring for a little bit of XPS foam, and yeah, turn these miniatures into something fun. Obviously, as I say, I know that the Nazgul and the Witch King and Saruman and Warg captains and all that kind of stuff, and just a basic Warg aren't exactly needed for Balin's tomb, but it was too nice of a proposition to pass up. But and I think they're really fun. So yeah, I'm going to get stuck into cleaning those up, sticking them onto their bases, and yeah, that'll be what I'll be doing over the Christmas period in a couple of weeks. If you're interested in getting your hands on the Copplestone stuff, I will put a link down below for you to go and check out. As I say, they do all of the sort of evil side, so they do Uruks, orcs, trolls, and all the characters you saw there, alongside mounted figures like wargs and warg riders. But on the good side, they do dwarves, men, and horsemen. So they do Gondor, the forces of, you know, Khazad-dûm or Erebor, and they do Rohan. So if you're going to be doing Pelennor Fields, they pretty much have you covered, because you have all the evil characters, and then you have the Gondorians and the Rohirrim as well. And they also do mounted versions of these heroes, so you can get the 3 hunters on horseback or Gandalf on horseback and all that kind of stuff as well. So you can actually play out the proper Pelennor in 10mm, which I think is really fun, and just use a bunch of rules from Fantastic Battles, I say, or maybe see if you can find the old rules for Battle of Five Armies. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. I'm just going to leave you on a ring wraith there, looking rather fancy. I'm going to go and start cleaning up some models, and I'll be back very soon. Hopefully next week's video will be more Middle-earth related stuff, either showing off some more painted things, or maybe I'll have a little bit of a diary talking about some games that I played over the weekend. That could be kind of cool. I'll see if I can shoot some footage. Oh God. That's going to be interesting, isn't it? But yeah, cool stuff. Hope you enjoyed having a look at all these models, and maybe this will spur you on to go and get some for yourself. Not sponsored or anything, I bought all these by myself, so if you like them, go and check them out. See what you think. There'll be links down below to a Ko-fi if you want to get involved, and if you like what I do and you want to do a little bit of a donation, you can do that. But other than that, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will be back for another video very, very soon. Goodbye from my messy painting desk, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye for now.